Welcome on in to Bragg About It. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Carlene Bragg.
And I'm Megan Bragg.
And we're here to brag about it, babe.
Hey, let's do it. So excited to be here today. This obviously is a little podcast about bringing some really cool people from Charlotte doing a really amazing thing. So we're so happy for you guys to be here. And today we have Theater Charlotte on with artistic director Chris Timmons. So Chris, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Okay. So Theater Charlotte, I mean, goes back almost 100 years. Tell me how this all started and what you guys do here in Charlotte.
Sure. So Theater Charlotte was founded in 1927 by the American Association of University Women. They were studying the Little Theater movement and reading plays, and then the first public performance was on June 1st, 1928. So from that, we've evolved and changed our name to Theater Charlotte. There are still some people that refer to it as the Little Theater of Charlotte. But yeah, we have produced, I think it's close to 600 productions in that period of time. We are now in our permanent home. We've been there since 1941 on Queens Road. Prior to that, we were producing theater in all kinds of places. So the first reading was in the main library uptown and some other, there was an orphanage that we produced some shows in, and different schools and things until we moved into at 501 Queens Road.
Yeah. You know, also, too, I do have to say about 501 Queens Road, it was a little dicey there in 2020, was that, when the fire happened? Yeah. How have you guys, evolved from that and continue to go about and do your productions, especially after that?
Yeah. So obviously everybody was going through something in 2020.
Yes, obviously. I know.
So yeah, on top of the challenges of the pandemic, when we weren't able to produce theater live, we were streaming shows, and which was not the best.
Sure.
I mean, it's how we could connect, but nobody really wanted to
no
see
one was
theater
doing
that
anything.
way.
Yeah.
Right? So we did that, and then, we had a fire at the end of December 2020. What that allowed us to do was really reach out into the community more and connect in ways that we wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. So we continue to produce theater. We are the longest continually producing theater in the state of North Carolina.
Wow.
We haven't stopped.
Yeah.
We haven't slept in 100 years.
I know, literally.
We were producing shows with different community partners and venues that you wouldn't expect to find theater in. And we did that for a season while our building was being renovated and restored. And so now it's like, to be back in that space again is a gift.
Right.
It's something that we maybe didn't really fully appreciate. The roof was leaking, and you complain about this and that, but to have to plan a season of theater on the road and work through all of those schedules was something that having that space, we really appreciate even more now.
Well, especially because Theater Charlotte's volunteer-based. So these are people who are in it for the love of the game. Like, on top of anything of all this, to talk to us about the being volunteer-based.
Yeah. So, and even more so than that, it's community-based. Like, what we really focus on is the fact that the people that you see on our stage it could be a coworker, it could be your dentist, it could be your neighbor. These are people that are based here in Charlotte. They don't make a living doing this. Very few people in Charlotte do. So this is really an outlet for people to express themselves, to kind of leave the stresses of the workday behind. So, and it takes a lot. I mean, it's like 500 people a year to do not only on stage, but front of house and all of the other activities and things that we need to produce a show.
So what makes it feel like home? I know that you're saying it's Charlotte's home for local theater. What is it from the community-based sort of thing? What is that home touch to your theater?
Yeah, well, again, going back to the fact that it is community members, so it's people that you can recognize and you can see them in the grocery store, you know?
Right.
You can go up and talk to them. But we're also in a very intimate space. It's a 220-seat theater. It's tucked away in Myers Park. It looks like the rest of the neighborhood. It has that a very intimate, close feel. You're 40 feet from the stage, so it's not like, you know, you're sitting up in the nosebleed section and you're trying to squint to see what's, like, you can see people's facial expressions, you can see the emotion, and you get to experience that with people who are very close to you in the auditorium. And we really work to find production teams and even within our staff to make people feel welcome to try new things, because we realize that not everybody is at the same skill level, not everybody has the same amount of experience. So it's really important that people leave. To me, it's just as important that they have a good experience while they're there as the production being high quality.
When, you know, Carlene's saying feels like home and everything, do you have any stories of people, you know, going there, doing a production, and then maybe finding a romantic partner from this, or making lifelong friends or something like that? Because it is a very, you know, I'm sure social atmosphere where people can get together and get out of their comfort zone just a little bit.
Yeah, well, you name a show and there's a story.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, we've had, I think I've been there almost 20 years, 19 years. I think we've had at least 2 or 3 proposals on stage.
Wow.
We had we had a proposal that was well thought out, and it wasn't even somebody who was really connected to the theater. I think they lived in Myers Park and walked past the theater, and anyway, it was a private movie screening for the person he was proposing to, and she went off at the end of the night on a horse-drawn carriage through Myers Park.
Oh my gosh.
And what's interesting is that couple reached out to us during the fire renovations just to connect and
help out.
And we hadn't heard from them in probably almost 10 years at that point. But yeah, there are always those stories, and you know, what's really, really special is when you can be there on closing night of a show, and you can see these performers and this cast and crew putting everything they have into that final performance, and then all of the emotion that comes, you know, afterwards. That's something that you just don't see in film. You know, you don't see that.
Right.
It's really special.
How important is it to have this theater for an outlet for some people? Because, you know, like you were saying, we have stress from the day and from life. And do you feel like, has anyone come up to you and been like, this has really helped me just get through a difficult time, or anything like that?
Yeah. And we see that a lot. We just wrapped up our summer program with, we have a program for high school and college age students and then middle school students. And those programs, you see a lot of that as you're talking to parents. You know, there are some students who don't have those opportunities at school, or they're in a school district that doesn't have a theater program. So to be able to offer them something is fantastic. Huge. And we've had several students who have come through our program who maybe their life at home wasn't great, and so this was an opportunity to escape from that. And then we've had people who, again, one of the things that we really strive for is for people to be themselves. Like, come as you are, be who you are, because sometimes they don't get a chance to do that at school. You know, they're having to fit into certain, you know, parameters
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
you know.
for sure.
So yeah, that's huge. It's huge to be able to provide a space like that where people can just be who they are and be accepted for that.
Absolutely. Chris Timmons here from Theater Charlotte. We are going to take a quick 2-minute break right now on Live Impact News, but we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Bragg About It. I'm Carleen Bragg with my good sis Megan Bragg. We are here with Theater Charlotte, Chris Timmons. Now, you said 20 years you've been with Theater Charlotte.
19, almost 20.
How'd you get involved with this?
So my first show at Theater Charlotte was actually not a Theater Charlotte branded production. I was hired to design and build a set for another theater company that was renting the space. So actually the stars just aligned because their technical director was stepping down. So it allowed me to connect with that team, and I've been there in various roles since then.
That's awesome. What's your favorite thing about being involved in this?
Oh, jeez. It's the people.
Yeah.
You know, the people that you meet along the way. It's the people that you get to see go on and do exciting things, and not necessarily always in the industry. I mean, that's exciting too. You know, we can sit and brag about all of the people that we've seen who are on Broadway and on film and TV. But even just to connect with people who now are teachers, or there was a girl that worked with me years ago who is an Imagineer. So those kind of things are really cool to be able to just see how people grow and to know that we had a small part of what it is that they're doing now. Because the things that we teach there's a lot of life skills in there.
Absolutely.
It's more than just, putting on a play or performing for, an audience.
I just want to ask too, you're an artist director, the artist director, right? Artistic director. I'm like saying he's like painting the whole thing. Tell me what that entails. Because some people, who know nothing about theater, which I'm not a theater nerd. I think I was in like one play and I was upset I didn't get the lead. I didn't deserve the lead. No way needed the lead. But tell people what that entails and what you do.
Sure. So what I do at Theater Charlotte is I am in charge of our product. So anything that we put on stage, I'm overseeing that, bringing in and assembling our production teams for each show. So that's directors, stage managers, designers. I also design lighting and scenic design. So I do some of that work throughout the year. And also connecting with other theaters throughout the country and in the region to look at trends, to look at show selection and things that are on the horizon, trying to think ahead as far as like developing where we want to go and what we want to do and what we want to see on our stage.
Yeah. Well, this is definitely community theater, and you are welcoming to everybody. I understand getting into theater can be kind of intimidating.
Sure.
Do you have any like theater 101, like maybe some shows or musicals that you kind of recommend people like, hey, if you think you're interested, you should watch these shows to feel it, to be more inspired to get involved?
Yeah. Well, everything. We go into every production regardless. Like we're heading into our 20th anniversary production of A Christmas Carol. And you would think 20 years, like you just kind of put it on repeat.
Right.
But like we approach every show with the intent to put something great on our stage.
Sure.
Nobody wants to phone it in, right?
No.
And I think we have a lot of people who are, I'm seeing come to auditions who either haven't auditioned before or are maybe coming back to theater after a long break. And so what I try to tell people is to just go out there and do it. You get the experience from doing it. You get people, directors and myself and other people who see what you're what the potential is. So the best thing you can do is just keep getting out there and keep trying and keep doing it. And anybody will tell you, even the people that are making a living doing this, you are turned down more often than you get the gig.
Get the part,
right?
Listen.
Been there.
Been there.
So that's tough. I mean, you have to have thick skin.
Yes.
And you have to be able to let it, just kind of roll with the punches.
Right.
So, I don't know that there's a specific show, like, come and see anything that we do.
Yeah.
Like, not necessarily to go, well, this show is maybe not quite the caliber that this show is, but just to
Sure.
see what's out there. And sometimes it's like you go into an audition, you think, man, I nailed it.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But then you come and see the show and you go, okay, now I know why.
Okay, now I know.
I did not nail that.
Now I know, I need to do a little more
Sure.
prep to get there. So, but again, I think for us, even in that audition space, we want people to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I usually keep a list of people that I want to reach out to after auditions to say, hey, we appreciate having you here. Know that you haven't auditioned before or in a long time. Like,
Right.
Come
back.
keep coming.
Yeah.
We want to,
You could be the tree in the background like me that way. I'm just kidding. Okay, so let's do a little game with you called Take a Bow. We want to do this or that. So this is your own personal.
Okay.
Musical or straight play?
Straight play.
Okay.
Comedy or drama?
Drama.
Opening night or closing night?
Okay. Can I?
Yes,
Sure.
Can I
elaborate.
elaborate?
Go on.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
go off.
I love opening night because the energy, the nerves are there, and the show, because we've been through so much rehearsal together.
Yeah.
And then to get to opening night when you've got an audience, that's when it all comes together. But what I'll say about closing night is what I said earlier, is the emotions and the wrapping up of it is special. So I personally like to see opening night because I think sometimes as a show gets into the run, people will become more comfortable, and sometimes the show changes in ways that aren't always the best. Sometimes,
Yeah.
That's a long-winded answer.
Yeah, no,
I guess
okay.
opening night is what I would.
Opening night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have a dream role?
For me, no.
Yeah.
For you? You're like, no.
No, I don't.
He's like, I don't act.
I'm the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Do you have a dream, okay, so if you're behind the scenes, would you like to be behind the scenes of
Dream.
somewhere, a show or something?
show that you would love to do, produce.
To produce, go.
Okay, so there's a show that's resonated with me. I've done it twice, I think. Designed it twice. Sweeney Todd. I'm a big fan
Oh,
of that
okay.
show.
Todd.
Okay.
So that show may come back around.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Exciting.
All right, let's do one last question. I want to know the favorite, if there is in Theater Charlotte, a tradition or a superstition, something that you guys do before a play, after it's done. Is there anything that we don't see that you're doing?
Two things stand out. So one is we like to have a circle up before a performance, and sometimes it's just it's a combination. For our stage managers, it's usually informational. These are things that you need to know going into this performance. This is what worked from the last show versus this one. Sometimes it's to celebrate something. Somebody's got somebody in the audience that they haven't seen. They know they're coming to see the show. But it's usually a chance for everybody to bring their energy together and kind of get centered before performance, so that's always cool. But at the end of the run, we have space backstage where on the walls and ceiling and different places where people sign their name at the end of the show. So at the end of the run, and we've gotten better at signing as a group, so you can look up and see different shows, the play that goes wrong, and different shows. You can see who was in that show, and they've all signed, a space together.
That's so cool. I do also want to ask you this question too, because you said that you kind of look at trends and what's going on, and big one right now is the Odyssey. I saw it. I'm obsessed with the movie. But do you feel like when these big movies come out and stuff, that you need to kind of follow that and do something on it, or is it not so much that, and you guys have your own thoughts behind it.
There's a process that plays go through before they even get to a point where we can apply to produce them. So for shows, it's exciting to see shows like that, and even like Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which came out I don't know how many years ago.
Right.
Like we aren't able to license that show.
Sure.
I think it would be a spectacular show to do, especially with our youth in the summer. But we're not. It hasn't trickled down to our theater group yet. So I think there's a certain level of expectation for audiences when they come to see a show. I mean, however much money they're putting into it, whether it's the price that they pay for a Theater Charlotte ticket or a price that they pay at the Blumenthal, they expect a certain level of quality. So I think it's more about approaching that and also the stories that we want to tell. More so than the spectacle. The spectacle's nice, and as a design person, I love that kind of stuff.
It,
And trying to figure some of that stuff out is really nice. But and obviously, like, we're not dealing with the budgets that they are in Broadway, where they can rip out, a wall of a theater and fly things in and whatever. So somebody will do that with the Odyssey.
Yeah.
You'll see that probably in a few years if it's already not in the works.
Of course.
But it won't be us.
Okay.
Not yet.
Not yet. All right. We're going to take a quick break right here on Bragg About It. But you know what? It's our bread and butter coming up next. Chris is going to be bragging about it. So stay tuned.
Welcome back to Bragg About It. Now it's time for the namesake. Chris Timmons, it's time to brag about it.
Time to do it.
Theater Charlotte, go ahead.
All right. So again, we are heading into season 99, quickly approaching our centennial anniversary season. But if you are looking for high quality, locally produced theater, Theater Charlotte is the place to come, not only as an audience member, but if you're looking to get connected to the theater community, whether it's on stage, behind the scenes, painting sets, whatever it is, Theater Charlotte is the place to be.
Yeah. And I just have to say, too, my brag for you guys is that you are opening a space, that a lot of other places don't have or communities have for people to come and to do what they love to do without feeling overwhelmed. But it's a fun thing for them and to really have a space to be themselves, like you were saying earlier. So I think that's really, really cool that you guys get to do that.
I also love that you said, like, come as you are, but like to Megan said, you can be whoever you want too. Like you get to go play
a character,
but you get to still be in a community where you feel like yourself.
Yeah,
that's what's beautiful.
Yeah, and that even spills into our audience. Like, sometimes people will say, "What's the dress code?" And that's changed. I mean, obviously, when you go out, you want to look a certain way, or what, depending on where you're going, but. Ultimately, we just want people to feel. We also want people to feel like if they're in the audience, they can see themselves on stage. That's an important part in terms of when we put a season together. When we cast a show, we want people to feel like, hey, I can see myself in that story, or I can relate to the people that I'm seeing on stage. So that's a huge part of what we strive to do.
Absolutely. Okay, so 99 season. Are you guys big plans for your centennial?
100.
I know.
Yes, a lot of pressure. Yeah, we are working on that. We obviously there's a season that we will have to focus on, and we want to add some little things throughout the course of the season that really, again, tie back into the community. Hearing some of the stories from people who have been in and out of the Theater Charlotte space in that period of time, that's going to be important. So we're going to, look for some fun and exciting ways to celebrate season 100 without the staff feeling really, really tired.
Right.
Day in and day out, but we're all excited. Like we are really excited, not just for that season, but what lies ahead in season 101 and beyond. Like, this is an opportunity now for us to really start pushing out in reach some higher goals that we've been striving for. So
Awesome. Okay, where can people get tickets or get involved?
theatercharlotte.org, theater spelled THEATRE. Charlotte, as you know it.
I know,
.org.
We love it.
That's a great place. Yeah, you can find out everything you need to know about tickets, about subscriptions, about being a volunteer, auditions. You can get on our mailing list, and then obviously through social media on Instagram and Facebook.
Perfect. Chris, it's been so wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much for all you do, especially for the community. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for watching Bragg About It. We'll see you next week.